Welcome back to Everything in Atlanta, where we bring you breaking news from Atlanta. We also do street interviews and we do documentaries about the wonderful people in the Atlanta area. Today is June 7th, and I am bringing you a story from North Fulton County, Georgia. And it is a tragic story, but at the same time, it lets me know that there is hope. So, WSB TV is reporting that there was a sex trafficking sting that rescued nearly 160 children. So, they had a sting operation going on called Operation Safe Summer, and it was a collaborative effort between the FBI's Atlanta agent or the FBI's Atlanta field office and 38 law enforcement agencies in six different metro Atlanta counties. So they decided to go ahead and do this sting operation before the summertime because the summertime is normally a time of year where there is a lot more sex trafficking going on because the weather is better. So the same way that, regular people that aren't in the sex trafficking trade like to get out and about and do things in the summertime, the sex traffickers are the same, and they like to provide the sex slaves to the people that are out and about. Definitely tragic, but this story is amazing. 160, and it looks like the youngest rescued sex slave was as young as 3 years old. There was also 150 arrests, convictions, or sentences, so there will definitely be some people being put into prison, hopefully for the rest of their lives, for using power to put people into sex servitude. So this story, as I said, is very, very tragic because it could be anyone's child. They kidnap kids, they entice kids, they groom kids, and the children, they have the mental capacity of a child, so they don't know any better. And before they know it, they're in a situation that they have no control over. So I just want to say good job to the FBI Atlanta office, good job to the other offices that assisted with Operation Summer, and just keep up the good work. And to anyone that's listening that has kids, just make sure that you talk to your kids about it's not even just strangers anymore, you guys. It's always, back in the day, you would tell your kids, stay away from strangers, don't talk to strangers. But nowadays, it's anybody that's really looking for money. A young girl could get into a relationship with a boy at her school and think that she's head over heels in love, and he could really be pimping her out. So there are some signs that you can actually pay attention to if you do have children, to see if they may actually be a part of the sex trafficking epidemic. So, in your children, if you notice that there are changes in their school attendance, their school habits, their appearance, their group of friends, their interests, their school activities, even if you notice their vocabulary changing and their demeanor and their attitude and their sexual behavior, those are definitely red flags. Some more red flags that you can watch out for, especially with girls, if you notice that your daughter or your niece or a female younger relative of yours all of a sudden has manicures and she's getting her hair done and she's wearing designer clothes and purses, and there's no explainable source of the income, that's a red flag. Where would she be getting all these things from unless she's stealing it? That's a possibility as well, but those things are red flags to check on to make sure that you know exactly where these expensive items and all of these changes are coming from. Truancy, skipping school is also a red flag. They start to get into trouble and start to hang out with older kids or adults that are also getting in trouble. They start to dress, sexually provocative. They start to get tattoos or branding. Parents, if you notice that, say you're cleaning out your child's room and you notice a hotel key card or refillable gift cards, a 16 or a 17-year-old should not have a hotel key card. We all go on vacations with our children, and sometimes we say, hey, take this key card so that you'll have a key just in case we get separated. But if you haven't been on vacation in a couple of years, and most children do not keep key cards as a memorabilia of a vacation, there's no reason for a teenager to have hotel key cards laying around or in their purse or in their bedroom. Also, another red flag, multiple phones or multiple social media accounts. Anybody that is doing legit business online normally has one to two accounts. Same thing with phones. Anyone doing legitimate business would have one to two phones. As a teenager, there is no reason for a teenager to have multiple phones. For what? You have one phone line, and that's the line that, as a parent, I need to be able to get in contact with you on. Same thing with social media accounts. Parents are letting their children do whatever they want online, and that is where some of these predators are finding these children because they have time to surf online. They can post whatever they want because nobody is checking behind them. They don't have a parent that's saying, let me see your social media account, let me see your phone, let me check your Google Photos. Parents have to learn how to stay a step ahead of the children because they're steps ahead of us. I mean, they're learning at rapid speed, and if you're not keeping up with the lingo and the red flags and the signs, then you are going to be left behind, and you are putting your children out there to be victimized if you're not taking the time to stay up to date with what is going on in this world and what is going on in your children's life. Another red flag is when the kids start lying about the existence of these accounts, or if they refuse to allow a parent to access these accounts. You are the parent. There is no reason that a children can say to a parent, no mom, no dad, you cannot see my social media account. Well, you know what? The phone that I pay for you having, it's gone. The social media that you use on the computer that I purchased that's in your room, it's gone. There has to be a line where parents are strict enough to protect their children. It has to be. Another red flag for children, they start posting sexually provocative pictures on their phone or on online accounts. This world right now is very sexually explicit. You can't flip through the regular channels, cable channels, without seeing something sexually explicit. So sex is thrown in children's face in a way that it's inevitable that they're going to see sexually explicit material, sexually explicit behavior. So when you notice that your child starts posting, sexy pictures online, something has changed. If they weren't posting those kind of pictures before, something in their inner being has changed, or something in their external surroundings has changed that led them to believe that this is okay. Another red flag is unexplained injuries, bruising, swelling, redness, cigarette burns. Children, especially teenagers, they don't get injured very often unless they're playing sports or they're just very clumsy. So when you start seeing bruises and swelling and redness and burns and cuts on your child, something is not right. You have a lot of children that cut themselves as a way to deal with the stresses and the anxiety that they have. Start checking your children's body, and it may seem invasive, but it's not, and you can do it in a not so direct way. When your child has on short sleeves, look at their wrist, look at their arms when they wear shorts, look at their legs, look at their neck. Start paying attention to the markings on your children's body because they could be very, very telling in what is going on when your child leaves the house. I have three more red flags. The next one is going to be when your child claims to have an older boyfriend or girlfriend. When children are, age really 14 to about 17, they may start to date older individuals. So you may have a 15-year-old dating an 18-year-old. Kind of inappropriate because an 18-year-old obviously has way more life experience than a 15-year-old. So that 3-year difference is going to make a huge difference in their communication and how they interact, and what that 18-year-old knows that 15-year-old has no idea, actually exist. So when your children start dating, make sure that you are meeting the people that they are dating. Parents, when I tell you, if you have to start following your children, follow your children, because if they get mad at you, they get mad. Hopefully you're good enough to follow them and not get caught, but be able to see exactly what's going on when they leave the house. If they say that they're leaving and they're going to their friend Sarah's house, then you can follow them and make sure that that is exactly where they're going. When you see them get to Sarah's house, Sit outside for a couple of minutes, 30, 40 minutes. See if they leave Sarah's house as soon as she gets there, or if another car pulls up and your daughter jumps in that car and pulls off. We as parents have got to start paying more attention to what is going on with our children and letting them know that it is not the stranger pulling up, offering candy, trying to kidnap them and put them in a dungeon. It is people that look like you and I that are kind and friendly and giving and seem like they just want the child to have the world. And the child, not knowing any better, thinks, oh, this person must really care about me. Oh, this person is really my friend. Oh, this guy, he really loves me. Look at all the stuff that he's giving. There is always an ulterior motive. And sometimes that ulterior motive is simply goodness. I mean, there are people that are just good, but you as a teenager have to know the difference. And as a teenager, you really don't. So as a parent, you have to step in and show your child the way, because we live in a different time right now, and children are being kidnapped and put into the sex trafficking trade. They are being shipped from coast to coast, and their bodies are being sold 50, 60, 70 times a day to men that have no morals, that don't mind having sexual intercourse with a child. So, the lack of ID is also another red flag. If your child is not carrying ID and they are of the age, you need to get them ID as well. And then also, if your child is running away a lot, something is not right. You know your household. If a child is running away from an unsafe household and there's abuse in the household, whether the abuse is physical or mental or emotional, some children run away from that. You have to start making a safe haven for your children, because if they don't feel safe in your home and they run away, the first person that they meet that shows them a little bit of love, a little bit of affection, a little bit of time, takes a little bit of energy to show them that they care, that person will own your child. Period. Your child will forget about you. They will forget about any past lives that they had, and they will now belong to this person that is selling their body and profiting millions of dollars off of their body. So, talk to your children. This story has affected me because sex trafficking has turned into a multi-billion-dollar business, and it's scary, and it makes no sense that people can take a human being and put them into a sex worker role without their permission, for one, and to kidnap or groom a child to be able to use them as a sex slave is immoral, and it is illegal, and there's something that we all can do to stop it. Start paying attention. Pay attention to not only your children, but pay attention to the children in your life. Pay attention to children that you see at the gas station, at the grocery store, at the airport, at the bus stop, at the train station, at the library. Pay attention to the behaviors of children everywhere, and adults. Adults are being sex trafficked as well. So pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to the behaviors of those around you, because you know what could happen? You could actually save a life. You could be a hero just by paying attention and knowing the signs. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys learned something. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Make sure you stay tuned and subscribe and hit the little button to be notified whenever we upload new videos. Thanks again. Have a great day.